The Big Show.
All right, Ross. What are your thoughts on the Eagles? They ran all over the Minnesota Vikings. Kind of sloppy game, but it was 34-28 victory for the Eagles.
Yeah, game just ended about 8 minutes ago in my hotel room here in Las Vegas because I'm calling Vanderbilt at UNLV Saturday night. I might have already said that when we were recording my picks for the weekend, but we want to get this posted as soon as possible for the international folks and for everybody commuting tomorrow morning. Strange game. Really strange game. The Eagles were out of sync early in the game, maybe the whole game in terms of a passing standpoint. I felt like Jalen Hurts was struggling in the first half. He had a bad interception. But what kind of saved the Eagles were all the fumbles by the Vikings. I mean, the punt returner fumbled once. Madison fumbled. The biggest play of the game was Justin Jefferson fumbling for a touchback when it should have been a touchdown. I mean, that would have given them the lead 14-10. Instead, it goes the other way, and the Eagles actually end up getting a field goal from Jake Elliott. 61-yarder, by the way, which was absolutely incredible by Elliott. And really, the Eagles were in a funk until they decided to just run the ball every play. They basically just decided, you know what? We're just going to run the ball with DeAndre Swift every play. And, Jack, I think you saw the tweet, but it was the best performance I've seen by a Swift at the Link in Philadelphia since Taylor in May. Now, is that like a dad joke, or is that legitimately a good tweet or funny?
That's something. I don't know. I always get caught up with Taylor Swift jokes. Mike Gold Jr., I get caught up if it's a dad joke or if it's a youth joke, but it was funny. I got a chuckle.
At any rate, the Vikings were moving the ball. The Vikings struggled to protect Cousins, and the offensive line struggled against the Eagles' defensive line for sure. But without those 3 fumbles in the first half, the Vikings probably have a double-digit lead at halftime because the Eagles, they only moved the ball well. They had a bomb to Devontae Smith that had to settle for a field goal. They only moved the ball on the drive where they were on the ground. Then the second half, the Eagles, it was 13-7 at halftime. Second half, Josh Sweat stripped Kirk Cousins for the 4th fumble for the Vikings, which led to another Hurts sneak touchdown, 20-7 lead. Then they get a stop. Hurts throws a bomb to Devontae Smith while he's getting crushed. It's 27-7. And you're thinking the Eagles are just going to run away with this thing, but that's not what happened. The Vikings kept playing. Jordan Addison caught a bomb from Cousins, and so it's 27-14 with 9 minutes to go in the third. The Vikings then have another drive. They get to within 27-21. Ultimately, the Eagles then just went right back to the ground. It's 27-21, right back to the ground, just pounding DeAndre Swift. He has a long run and then ends up scoring a touchdown, so the Eagles have a 2-score lead. But then even again, the Vikings, they just kept coming. I can't remember who scored the last touchdown, but for those of you that are inclined, the Vikings covered the spread with that last touchdown. They kicked the onside kick, not able to recover, and the Eagles get the victory. Again, there's going to be people in Philadelphia that aren't real happy about it, but they'd be a lot happier being 2-0 and now having a little bit of a break to try to get healthy with some of these guys than if they were the Vikings who are 0-2, and the season's already getting a little bit late for the Vikings. They won every 1-score game a year ago. It's no longer the case in Minnesota.